how do I deal with it?
How do you constantly not worry about something?
So what do we call this?
So why are we born?
Is it an issue?
You never do anything properly. Situation is horrible. The roads are so bad. The buses are so unclean. I don't like this situation at all. ACs don't work. Complaints, complaints, and complaints. We hear them so often. Everywhere around us, we are only hearing complaints and people complaining all the time. So is this complaint aspect a completely negative thing? Or there is something positive to complaining also?
It's like that famous example which many speakers give on a PowerPoint presentation. They show a white screen and a black dot. And then they ask the audience, what do you see? And most of them say, a black dot. And then the speaker is very triumphant and he smiles and smirks and says, oh, you people did not see the entire big white screen, you only saw the black dot. Nothing wrong, no? Because what is there to talk about the white screen? Nothing. Something which is standing out will be automatically picked up. Now, if that black dot is something to be complained about, what's wrong in talking about the black dot? Having said that, I find it amusing that people do not find all the good things that are happening around.
Exactly. So at one point when we talk of this complaining thing where we say stop complaining, we want this to stop somewhere. There's another aspect to complaints.
That is separate.
In service industry or even in pharma industry or the thing, complaints is given so much priority because they are attended to. You have a procedure, you have a system.
Let's say today in your house there is no electricity. Will you go to the water department and say, "Mere ghar mein bijli nahi hai"? Then it is not relevant. You're going to the wrong, you're barking up the wrong tree. But if you go to the electricity department and say, "Mere ghar mein bijli nahi hai," it is a relevant complaint.
Yeah, that's true.
So there are relevant complaints and there are irrelevant complaints. Let's face the fact. When you say stop complaining, you're talking about the irrelevant complaints.
True.
Nobody says stop complaining to a relevant complaint.
There's another aspect to complaining. The other day we were at the immigration counter on the airport and it was a huge line. And if you ask me, India I think has one of the fastest immigrations normally. Something went wrong that day. I think the number of staff was less. And there was this gentleman who just blew his head.
That's not complaint.
Yeah, no.
Very good you brought this example. That's not complaint. That is showing off my status.
No, but he was screaming, shouting and complaining.
He's utilizing that opportunity to throw his weight around.
That I am someone.
And he may be nobody. In reality, he may be nobody.
Okay. Yeah.
But he likes to believe I am somebody.
Yeah.
And he wants to show to the world that I am somebody.
Yeah, but what I'm coming to is, there is a manner or a way to complain also, right?
But he doesn't have a complaint.
Yeah, no, in this
There are 100 people standing with him in the same immigration crew because there is an issue.
Right.
Right? Why are you shouting? Because I want to stand out in the crowd so that the crowd looks at me, what a brave person. He didn't have any fear. He was shouting at the officials.
So it's an irrelevant complaint.
It's about himself. It's not about the genuine. Why were you not shouting?
Yeah, I mean, it was embarrassing if you ask me.
Forget the embarrassment. Why were you not shouting? You saw the genuinity of the reason why there is a queue. There are less officials. Okay, that might be mismanagement on behalf of the airport authorities and all that. Fair enough. But fact remains, there are inadequate officials. Your queue cannot move faster.
Right.
So what choice do you have? By you shouting, will they bring another official from his home, wherever he is, right there before the queue gets finished? No chance. So you are making an issue out of a non-issue.
Non-issue.
Okay, you are waiting in the queue and there is not a single immigration officer.
Then it's fine, yeah.
Then it's a relevant complaint.
So you won't call this a complaint at all?
Not at all. This is a show-off.
Oh, okay. Still, there has to be a manner to complain, right? I mean, you can't just be rude. You can't be like, some people really, I feel, don't know how to complain.
That is a matter of upbringing. Now, if his parents are uncouth, unmannerly, and if he, as a child, grew up in that atmosphere, you don't expect him to be a mannerly person. He may be highly qualified and he may be occupying a very great position in somewhere in the industry or wherever, whatever he does. But that is his upbringing. What can you do? You can't go and wipe out his background in which he came up. He has always seen his father as an abusive, shouting person. He thinks that's the right way to deal in life. I mean, you imagine him as a child watching an abusive adult. Is he going to decide for himself that this is right behavior or wrong behavior? It has become part of his system.
He'll just imitate what the...
Yeah, he is imitating what he has seen. Now, you can counter that with an argument that as he grew up, he developed a faculty of reasoning. He should reason out that this is not good behavior. Reasoning doesn't work when it becomes a cultivated habit. You do a lot of wrong things because it is a cultivated habit. Later on you regret, "Arey, main aisa nahi karna tha." But at the spur of the moment it happened because it was part of your system.
In fact, this reminds me of a very funny incident. I just want to narrate that. So there was this customer which we were dealing with, and I was extremely irritated because some consignment that was to come did not come in time, and I was like really frustrated, and I decided I'm going to give this person a call. So I give him a call, and his ringtone is "Kuch to log kahenge, logon ka kaam hai kehna." And you won't believe I burst out laughing. So all my irritation just went for a toss because that's exactly what I was going to do to him.
Yes.
So I mean, I just shared this because it was relating to complaints.
That is so true. Kuch to log. But again, everything in life is situational. Yeah. You can't say that complaints are bad, then you are going to one extreme, and you can't say complaints are necessary because that's also another extreme. So you can't come out with the rule, stop complaining, and you cannot come and say every time there is an issue, complain. These are two extremes. You have to weigh the situation and find a midline.
Find a balance.
Midline.
Yeah, that's true.
So something which we all should understand is that life has to be dealt with according to the situation. And you have to achieve a balance. You cannot be imbalanced. Like the example you gave where this person was shouting at the immigration, he lost his balance.
Yeah.
Like you said, there is a way of saying. Now you could have complained the same thing
in a better manner,
decent manner, in a civil manner. But then if there were no such characters, there wouldn't be fun, and you and I wouldn't be discussing
sitting
this
here and discussing this today. Yeah, very true. So complaints have a positive side to them and a negative side to them. So find out what's relevant a complaint, what's an irrelevant complaint, find the balance and keep complaining.